Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Hi, and welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. This show is designed to give you actionable and practical tips to improve your management skills and get the results you need. Make sure you've taken the time to subscribe so you don't miss another episode. And, as always, please make sure you've shared this episode. It costs you nothing to pass on a bit of positivity to your friends and family. Well, without any further delay, let's get on with this week's show. Lucky, lucky, lucky me, I'm a lucky son of a gun. How lucky are you? When it comes to a job in management, how much luck comes into play when you're selected? Are you a jammy bugger who has fallen into the role without any effort, or someone who has missed out on the ideal job over and over again? I've been told how lucky I am to have been in the roles I've had over the years and the jobs I've had. And of course, even the job I'm in now, I'm grateful for. And obviously, when I listen to that, I take it with gracefulness. But I always point out that the work and effort and consistency has made a big difference in my success so far. I could have stayed as an engineer. I loved making and fixing things, and actually I still do now. When there was a real problem to be solved on a multi-million-pound production line and you were the only person there who could fix it, the buzz you got from that, going out like almost a firefighter to fix the problems and get it working. But there was something that drove me on to do other things and move into projects and into management. I've also missed out on jobs and roles. Yes, I've been successful, but I have actually been down to the last two sometimes and missed out by a whisker. Or even sometimes not even got through the selection process and got the email back saying, sorry, this time your CV doesn't match what we're looking for. And naturally, as a human, you're disappointed. But what did I do? I didn't go down and blame it on being unlucky. No, I went back and looked at what I could readdress in the areas where I've missed out. There's always those sliding door moments in life where you could have moved on to a different path or stayed. You could have taken that role or went. You could have moved to a different country sometimes or stayed where we are in the UK. And how do you take those chances? I know in the past I've taken pay cuts to move into a role that I felt was more secure and gave me more progression. There's sometimes when I was studying before to do my qualifications, the days and weeks of sat behind a book when I could have easily gone out and done other things, anything some days. Was I being unlucky there, or was I just affecting my own luck? Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people in this world who have had nowhere near the security and backing that I've had from my family and friends. They have had a disadvantage, and I guess it's what you do with that mindset. Do you see the disadvantage of the situation, or do you see the opportunity? There's a conversation that sticks with me, must be some 30 years ago maybe, and it sums up your choices and maybe the luck you make in your life. I was an engineer at the time, an apprentice, and I was working with a labourer in an engineering company. Now, for those who don't know, the labourers are the guys who, it's the dirty jobs they get. They're usually the manual jobs. They're fetching, they're carrying, they're doing the things that are maybe not the most glamorous. And in some ways, they're considered a lower skill. Now, the guy I'm talking about, who I was working with, was such a lovely man. He'd do anything for anyone, but he was so skillful as well. And as an apprentice, I learned a lot off of him, more than the skilled guys. Now, I couldn't understand how he had more skills than a lot of the senior engineers, but he'd kept this low-level job all the way through his life. And he seemed to hate and despise the people around him who were paid double sometimes. And our footnote, there's nothing wrong or demeaning about being a labourer. It's a good job and there's nothing wrong with that, and people do that as a job. I'm not calling labourers as being something that's not to be aspired to. But this case, there was something more. This guy had such a lot of skills. So I asked him one day, why did you not do an apprenticeship? Or do some of the skill selection courses that so you could become an engineer. He said that he'd started on the courses some years back and was doing really well. But the people around him, his so-called mates as he put it, started to take the mick about how he was doing all this book work and how he was becoming above his station, and look at you studying and doing this and doing that. So he was so bothered by their views of him that he quit. He went back to doing the labouring that he'd started and stayed there for another 30 years. This was one of those moments in his life where he made his own luck. One step to the left, he'd become an engineer, well paid, developed, who knows. One step to the right, he stayed as a labourer. Big differences. Now, I'm not saying the left step would have made him happier or the right step made him happier, but all I'm saying is there's choices. So there was a choice there, what he did. Now, was my friend unlucky or lucky? Or did he make his own luck in those decisions? To me, luck and choices go hand in hand. You can't sometimes affect the hand you're dealt, but you know you can affect the way you play the game. You can think of good or bad luck is something that just happens to you, which is right in some respects. But what is also right is, how do you react? Do you react as a victim of the luck, or do you treat luck as something that you just get on with and play the cards you're being dealt? Well, thanks for listening, and as always, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on the show, both good, bad and indifference. And I think feedback is such a gift, so please send me your thoughts to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. I read all the own emails, and I would love to engage on new or old topics with you. So, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.